Hello, everyone. Happy 8 p.m. Yes, we are live as usual. Alrighty, let's do this. So, today's topic. Wow, this angle. Let's fix that a little bit. Okay, we good, we good. All right, so today's topic is improving life one choice at a time. Yeah, what do I want to do here? Goodness, this is such a real serious topic. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's also it's a real life conversation topic. Okay, so um, where do I want to go from here? I guess in a way, what made me think about this topic of today is that every single day, or more recently, my life has been better, and I realized life has been good for you know various different reasons. I would say choice is a big one. Jer is it Jer? Hair Gonzalez? That's an interesting name you got there. Um, yes. Okay, let's let's do this. Um, let's go with mysterious peoples in the background. um, let's see here. It's so funny. So, mind blanking. My mind is blanking. My mind is blanking. Okay. Improve life one choice at a time. I'm so sorry. Let's all breathe together for a second. I'm so sorry. Like my mind is everywhere right now. But I'm calm ish. So, how's everyone doing today? Please forgive me. I need to like reset my mind. Um, I was just like watching another video, then I hopped on here. So today was a pretty good day. I got a decent amount of work done, and now we're on here, and I'll explain why. Sorry, I feel like I need to reset this whole thing. I just wasted 2.5 minutes. How am I doing? Is it Jer? I'm gonna go with Jer. Um, I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, life has been pretty good, and I guess why I reflected on this topic. Hello, Susie H. Good to see you. What made me reflect on this topic of how do we have a good life? I think that's really what the conversation should be about. I think like having a good life takes time, and I think sometimes we think life like sometimes where's my mind going? Um, I think when I was younger, I had this idea that the purpose of life is to whatever be rich, live comfortably, go on vacations, and whatever it is, be famous, like whatever it is, the typical things that media tells us what life is all about. And of course, I've also had this other idea because my parents weren't like they weren't rich, they weren't famous, none of that kind of stuff. But so I definitely had those grounding values of like happiness comes with the simplicities, the simple things that happen in our lives. Um, but seeing my parents weren't always happy as well. So it was a little bit of a balance in a way. So I've always tried to figure out like how do I be happy with my life, and I realized that happiness comes from a lot of happiness comes from our choices that we make. It comes from personal improvement, and yeah. So yeah, I guess for myself, I'm kind of looking back at my life and noticing. Hold on. Let's see. Oh goodness, I'm so not focused today. Please forgive me. Um, you know what? Feel free to ask questions right now. I would appreciate questions right now because like my mind like I'm not focused in this moment. Yeah, but I'm happy to answer questions. Um, let's see. Kitty says, "Hey, Jared, happy to see you. Had a what? Something day yesterday. Horrible day yesterday, and dark thoughts. Snappy face. Good to see you on." Jared says, "Take a deep breath and restart your mind." Thank you. Let's all do that. I will do that right now. Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath and restart for a second. Please give me a second. Okay, let's do this. Goodness gracious. Um, I mean, I feel like right now we could talk about being present in this moment. Anxiety. Okay. What? Why are you talking in caps? Oh, let's see. You still did not answer my question about Valentine's Day. Kitty, I did not forget about that. I was actually going to bring that up to you. Um, again, there is a reason why. I'm thinking I'll let you know sometime this week. Again, there's a reason why, and you'll know exactly what the reason why when you'll know. Again, you'll know. I think you'll know tomorrow. I think, but I can't guarantee it because I yeah. What's the reason? You'll find out the reason tomorrow. There's a reason why I'm telling you. Just trust that there's a reason why I haven't told you yet. Okay. Um, and but you will know, and hopefully it will be more than you will know in a way. Okay. Um, yeah. So don't worry about that topic. Um, again, not hiding anything. Happy to share when the time is right. Let's see. Will you ever consider vlogging? Ah, goodness. When it comes to vlogging, I'm open to vlogging. It's probably more engaging than just well, that's not necessarily true. Uh, yes, I've considered vlogging. It's the thing that kind of turns me off about vlogging is the amount of editing and uh, the amount of editing that I have to do, whatever, on a daily slash weekly basis. And I would say the second thing would be just like when you vlog, it kind of takes away from being present in the moment. It takes away from the little beautiful life experiences that you have. So for me, I'm learning to value the present moment. I'm valuing just enjoying the moment. There's like for me there is like there's no need to whatever on a personal level. Like there's no need to like share. Uh, you know, how do I say this? Like for me, like I'm just happy with the little moments, and I don't really need to vlog about them. It takes me away from that a little bit, but at the same time, yes, there is a part of me that wants to share my life with you. How do I do that? Maybe I just need to strap a GoPro on me or something? Um, yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure out a way to edit videos easier. I'm getting lazy when it comes to editing. Like editing just takes up so much time, and there's just so much going on right now that editing is not my priority. But yeah, I'll consider it. I'll consider it, and I'll figure out a way. I will figure out a way to vlog. Um, yeah, I'll think about it more. I no promises. But yeah, I a weekly vlog maybe. Let me know your thoughts. Let's see. All right, Jer. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. Susie says, "Yeah, vlogging seems hard. I like how you're using Insta stories more. It's cool to see what you share when speaking." Happy, good to see you on. Hey, Richard, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good today. I yesterday night I was like, "Huh, what am I going to do today? Sunday." It's a weekend. I have options, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like today's going to be a work day. So, woke up in the morning and just did as much work as possible, which wasn't super super productive, but yeah, I still got a good amount of work done, and I still have a lot more work to do. before I go to sleep. So right now I'm preparing for a large convention that I'm going to up in Reno, Nevada, which is up in, it's Reno, Nevada. It's like closer to Northern California, but in Nevada. And it is a CATA convention, which is the California Association of Directors of Activities. I'm really excited to go. And yeah, I'll be speaking there. I'll be doing some other little workshops, and I also have an exhibit booth there, so it'll be a lot of fun. Um, yeah, goodness gracious, what is there? Yeah, I there is a part of me that feels like I should be vlogging. Uh, like when you mentioned that, I'm just like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. So, with that being said, like, I'm just free flowing. By the way, anyone who's on right now or watching later, feel free to just chime in, ask questions. Today feels much more of a free flow conversation. I don't want to have a serious topic. It's a little bit too serious for me today. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about a lot of different things. I would love to know what's going on in your life. In terms of video content, I'm playing around with this. I feel like I shouldn't be talking about this yet because it's so new. But I've been doing daily vlogs, pretty much 7 days a week, minus whenever special occasions and things like that. Um, but I'm almost thinking, what if I kind of restructure it to, I don't know, weekdays or Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then on some other days I'll release some other content, such as short snippets, because not everyone wants to sit through an hour-long live stream video to learn something. Like some people have very short attention spans, which is a very common thing. That's most people. For the people who are on, slightly more patient. For the people who are not watching this, less patient. So, yeah. Um, okay, you know what? It's funny that I was not wanting to talk about the topic of today, and then now we're going to dive into the topic of today. Why? Because I think it's relevant and it's a good timing. So today's topic is improve life one choice at a time. And for myself, this is it's so weirdly worded. I don't like the way I worded this topic, but it has a point. The point is like, I just remember back in the day, I used to struggle a lot. I used to have this idea that my life is always going to be a struggle, that I'm going to keep, this is the way I am. I'm not a very, my belief back in the day was that I was not a very responsible person. I wasn't very special, just very average, not that attractive. And, I don't think I'd be that successful in my life. And, I thought I'd just, whatever, just do the normal thing that everyone else is doing. And for me today, I'm not claiming I'm any more special than anyone else, but I would say that I'm at least on a path towards something that I did not expect. I did not expect myself to a lot of different things, like lose weight. I'd never thought that that was me. I always thought I was this overweight person. Same thing with kind of being on this path of becoming a motivational speaker. It's like, I would have never thought this is what I would do when I was younger, Yeah, so it's weird. It's like, if I were my younger self watching me speak right now, I'd be like, oh man, Richard, that Richard guy is whatever. He's charismatic. He's confident. Whatever. He has his life together in a way, or whatever you want to call it. It's I would feel like my younger self would compare himself with me today, and be like, oh, I can't do that. I can't be like that guy because he's I'm not him. I'm this insecure loser person. And for me, it's like, this is the topic of today is improving our life one choice at a time. It's like, I didn't get to where I am today by continuing to sit in my room and do the same things over and over again. Like it was these tiny little choices. And guess what? I still compare myself with people who are more successful than I am. And sometimes it's sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, well I can't do that because I'm not them. And I guess my conclusion, my summary of today is that uh, I just had a thought slipped. Um, I feel like we're much more capable than we think we are. Yeah, that's one of my thoughts for today. That we are more capable than we think we are. You know, especially for any one of you, any of my friends who struggle with their self esteem, self worth. They have this belief that they're not smart enough, they're not pretty enough, no one likes them, they're not worthy. All those are just stories. Like again, that's where I used to be. And, you know, there is no magic formula of like, you know, if you do this, you'll magically change your life. No, it's like, yes, there are strategies and tactics to being better and overcoming your insecurities and struggles. But I think it's about the three A's that I talk about. Was it acknowledge, accept, action? That's what it is. Acknowledge, accept, action. Acknowledge uh, that you're struggling, or you know, you have your insecurities, all that stuff. You have this the negative conversations. And number two is accept the negative conversations you have and move forward. And number three, which I think is the most important piece, is action. Action is all about if you don't like the way that you are right now, know that that is not permanent. You know that something about the way you relate or think about this thing that you don't like about yourself can change. So, for example, let's say you don't like your height. You know, you can't change your height unless you know, whatever. We'll talk more on a practical sense. Like we can't change our height for the most part. You know, so, but what we can do is we can change our mindset around our height. We can change the way we perceive ourselves. Like, I know I've talked to people who are like, you know, hey Richard, I feel really insecure about my height, and I'm just like, that's not something you should feel insecure about. You know, like, don't worry about your height. You know, like, sure, maybe people might make fun of you for it or whatever. Yeah, let's just say people make fun of you for it. But guess what? Like, if you own your height, if you stop caring about what other people think about, and you just embrace your height, you embrace that imperfection, um, you will get like you'll learn to leverage that. Like, let's say you're short. If you're short, um, how you improve that conversation is like you embrace the fact that you're short, and you can make fun of yourself and whatever. Like, just don't make it a big deal. Like, don't make don't let your height define your self-worth or anything like that, because it doesn't. You know, you define your own self-worth. So don't focus on your height, focus on something else, focus on your personality. How do you improve your personality? So that's what I have there. Goodness gracious. Brown Girl Jazzy, good to see you on. Good to see you on. Alrighty, let's do this. Happy says, I enjoy watching your lives. Thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy you being on here. That's awesome. Yeah, honestly, let I'm continuing to learn how to make these live streams less boring. I know some of you are like, hey Richard, you know, it's not too bad. It's or like it's not boring. I'm like, but there's ways that I can improve this live stream, and I know that, you know, and like for example, someone suggested, hey, ask us questions, and that's why for the past few streams, I think I've been implementing the stream title in the form of a question. So today I forgot to do that, so that's why it might be a little bit less engaging in that sense. So you know, maybe the question that I could ask you would be, how can you improve your life one choice at a time? You know, so if I reframed it to that, I would be interested to hear about that. Or what's one choice you can make today that will improve your life just a little bit or a lot? You know, I think that's a really good, powerful question to ask ourselves, and it's not always something that we can come up with right away. Let's see. I want to answer that question. I would actually be curious to know the answer to your question of what is one choice that you can change that will improve your life right now. One choice, a choice that I can change or improve to change my life right now. Hmm. Let's see here. I'm sure there's plenty. A choice that I could change that would improve my life right now. Man, this is tricky. The one that comes to my mind right now is, I mean, I have this scheduled, but like in my mind, it's scheduled, but I got so much going on that I'm not actually doing it. So one thing that I a choice that I could change that will change my life right now is really just taking action, which is for me, what I get to do right now is start planning. Uh, let's say my next commitment that I want to do for March and April ish. So I do this thing called a LOD, Letter of Declaration. Mine's ending February 25th, which is coming up pretty soon. Um, as of now, I have not created a new commitment, and I almost forgot about it until this moment. So by scheduling time to work on creating a new LOD, I think that's going to help me to create new commitments and goals for my future. You know, like what's my new exercise goals going to look like? What's my new uh, financial, my new career, relationship, like all these different goals that I have. What are all those going to look like? I think doing that, making that one choice to schedule time to plan out my life or plan out my goals for the next 2 months will have a big effect on me. So that's what I have to say. That's one thing that I can do. One choice I could make to change my life. I would say in a pretty decently significant way. So my question to you is the same: is what is one thing that you can do to positively? What's one choice you can make to positively impact your life right now? Okay, I will leave that on the table, and I will resume these comments right here. Let's see. Kitty says, Richard, how do I stop freaking out over little things like scars? I always freak out and my head would start hurting. Um, that's a great question. We will do a episode on anxiety probably soon, with a potentially special guest question mark. I need to ask if this person wants to do the episode again, because I said we would do it, and that is a thought that I have. I think the answer is yes, that we are going to do that sometime pretty soon. So, yes, Kitty Marie, we'll talk more about how do we stop freaking out over little things. That actually sounds like a big thing. Um, but yes, we will talk more about that. Yeah, but in brief, from my own experiences and knowledge, how do you stop freaking out over little things? It's kind of similar to what who said that, was it Susie? Jer? Someone said it. Oh, Jer. Jer said this earlier. Jer says like take a deep breath. I think um, when we freak out, like when things are overwhelming, I think sometimes we're in such a panic mode that we forget to like, even when we say breathe, just breathe. Like sometimes it's easier said than done. So I would say my biggest thing personally, if I want to reduce my anxiety, is to give myself permission to uh, important. Give myself permission to relax. To There's several ways I handle anxiety. I would say the first way is if it's super overwhelming and like I'm just like it's just like it's going off, like everything's crazy. Um, Option one is, especially if it's at night, I just sleep it off. Like I know that when I go to sleep and I wake up the next day, it will reset my mind a little bit and it will calm me down a little bit. So that's number one. Number two is, I would say this is the more responsible way of doing it, which is like if I'm feeling anxiety, I tell myself, okay, Richard, like give yourself permission to just relax, to calm down. Like, um, I've trained my mind in a certain way. I don't want to make this seem like it's hard to do, because it takes a little bit of practice, but it's like, hold on, I gotta think of something that gives me anxiety. Let's say I have a speech coming up, okay? So I got a presentation coming up, I got an exam coming up, you know, I got something big, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not prepared for this. I didn't study for this. What do I do? Oh my, like I'm gonna fail this. So if I'm in that mode of anxiety, um, what I remind myself is, okay, Richard, you being anxious is not going to help you. You know, you being anxious is not going to help you perform any better on whatever the speech that you have, the exam that you have coming up. So just relax. And this is where like uh, self awareness is really important, which is like I've had presentations, and this is just me. Like whenever I go to my sorry, whenever I go to a presentation, my kind of default mode is like I always want to do the best that I can. So my mind is always in this like, dude, Richard, you gotta prepare even more, prepare more, prepare more. So I'm naturally in this almost like state of anxiety because I'm like, no, I could do better than this. And I realized right before presentation, I need to just stop. Like I need to stop overthinking, stop trying to plan, and just relax because um, you know, like the presentation uh, Johnson Middle School presentation was a perfect example of this. Like, so my friends, anyone who's on, I know there's a few people on from Johnson Middle School right now. Like when I was going up on stage to present that, it was like, yes, I do get nervous as a presenter still. You know, it's just it's a natural thing that happens because I always want to do better, and or you could whatever it is, you can say I'm still growing. Um, but I had to tell myself, okay, Richard, stop overthinking it, trust yourself, just go. And that's what I did. I'm like, you know what? I'm not thinking about it anymore. Letting go, just relax. So, in a way, I guess, you know, in conclusion, if you're feeling anxious about something, I think part of how we let go of that anxiety is literally what I just said, which is letting go. It's having the courage to let go and trust. It's trust the process. It's like, you know, it's scary. I think part of anxiety is we are afraid to let go of feeling anxious because we are afraid if we try to let go that something bad might happen. You know, that we lose control when we quote unquote when we let go of this emotion of anxiety. We think I don't know, maybe letting go of anxiety or this thought will lead to some bigger problems. And um, I think growth and happiness and joy comes from letting go. So if you're feeling anxious, let go. That's I feel like I'm being a little bit general, but I hope that helps in some ways. I will leave it at that for tonight. If you got more deeper questions, you want to dive deeper into it, just comment and we can go into it for sure. All righty here. Let's see. What else we got? Kitty says you're growing a mustache. If I'm growing a mustache, that just means that I get to shave. I did not shave today because I'm chilling at home all day today. That's why. Susie H says, what was the first choice? What was that first choice for you? How did you start improving your life? Um, Good questions. I would say choices come in the tiniest of little things. Like, so let's talk. I want to talk about when I graduated college. When I graduated college, I was borderline obese. Um, you know, I didn't have a lot of positive habits. I had a lot of bad habits. I was overeating. I wasn't exercising. Mentally, I was beating myself up. And in that, look, whatever state you're in right now, whatever mental state you're in right now, know that you're okay. Like know that there is no um there is no like dead end. You know, you can always improve. So um with that being said, you know, back when I graduated college, I just felt like, you know, my life was a mess and I didn't have great habits. And um what I did was I said, you know what, Richard, you know, you're overweight, almost, you know, borderline obese, and you got to start losing some weight. So I made little decisions. The little choices I made were, okay, watch what I eat, just a little bit, at least lower the quantities I'm eating. And number two, even if you don't want to do it, just go outside and go exercise. You know, go run a mile. You know, do something. So those were the small little choices that started the whole snowball into me having a better life like that I have today. You know, without those initial steps, without the, eating a little bit less, without the running an extra, what, like 1 mile, those tiny little steps that don't seem like they matter. And, like if I were to calculate all the tiny little steps that I had in the past few years, like all those tiny little steps add up. Like in the moment, they don't seem like they matter. It's just like, oh, it's just one thing. I'll just whatever. I'll eat healthier tomorrow, or like, you know what? I'll skip working out today. Like all those tiny little steps affect who you are as a person today. So I think that's what it is. Life is a bunch of choices, and I think there's a really great example. A good example I would say is brushing your teeth. I don't know if you're someone who brushes your teeth every single day, but if you brush your teeth every single day, then it's like you probably have cleaner teeth. But like if you have this little habit of like missing some days and whatever, being lazy, like I used to be lazy. It's funny because I remember in high school, like my teeth weren't as clean, like they were kind of yellow, and now I think they're pretty white. They're clean, and that's as a result of just better dental hygiene, whatever it is. The little things. It's all about the little actions. And another last quick example. So today I'm supposed to be working out. I was supposed to work out in the morning, but then I decided doing my work was more important than working out. So it's 8:30 p.m. right now. Have not worked out yet. I still plan to, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I have so much work to do, and I want to finish my work first. So it is possible that I might be like, okay, I might skip working out because I want to focus on my work first. So right now, this is a real life Richard challenge of like imperfection. It's like my mind is kind of struggling. Like in the back of my mind is like, oh, Richard, you had a busy day. You could skip your workout. Or I could make the choice. Again, it's all in the little choices. Or I can make the choice. Hey, you know what? I made a commitment. I said I'm going to work out today. So guess what? I got to finish my work and then work out afterwards before I go to sleep. So it's all in the choices, So, and I'll be honest, it's 8:33 p.m. I still haven't solidified what is my decision, and probably the best thing to do is just make a decision. But in this moment, I'm not going to be perfect, and because I don't know how much time my work is going to take. So I'm going to focus on getting my work done, and then I still have the intention of getting my workout done. But I'll clarify that more when I solidify the rest of this evening's plans to make sure I have enough time to get everything done. Okay, that was imperfection speaking right there, which is okay. Alrighty. Yeah, Susie H, thanks for the question. That was a great one. Kitty says my present self always compares me to my summer self. Last summer I was happy, confident, but it will never happen again. Kitty, let's see. Kitty, like, I don't know how many times we like. I don't know how this. I don't know how many times we have to go over this conversation. Like, you are constantly comparing, like the words you use on yourself are really harsh and hurtful. You get to be careful of the words that you use. You mentioned last summer I was happy, confident, but it will never happen again. You said it will never happen again. Okay? So I just want to mention the fact that you say it will never happen again. Like, that is a super big limiting belief that it will never happen again. Was it hard for you to accomplish that summer goal, whatever your summer body? It probably was. And will it be hard to do it again? Maybe it will be. But don't let yourself put yourself down like that. You're projecting the future before it even happens. And I get it. I understand because guess what? I'm in a similar position as you. I currently weigh about 160 pounds, which is pretty good for me. The lightest I've ever been is 147 pounds. And that was like 4 years ago. I'm going to say 3 to 4 years ago. At that point, like, that was the skinniest I've ever been. Obviously I lost a lot of weight, and mentally in my mind, I'm like, Man, I don't know if I could ever hit 147 again. I mean, I honestly, like, there's a part of me that's like 147 is pretty too light. It's too skinny, it's not necessary. But the point is, I get it too. I get it mentally. I'm just like, man, 147 is gonna be really tough to hit. I don't know if I could do it again. So I have that doubt too. But I think my point is, it's really important for us to not limit ourselves. So for me, it's to not think I can't do it. I can do it. We both can do it. You can get the body if you choose. It's choices. It's one at a time. So, um, Kitty, really, what you're doing, and I'm saying this out of love and being straightforward about it because we know each other. Um, like, you're giving yourself excuses to keep being your same self, your same old version of yourself. Like, you keep making excuses like, oh, I can't do that. You know what? So there's no point. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to be my same old self that I hate, instead of being the person that I love. So that is a choice. You're making a choice to be the person that you hate, the person of your past versus the person that you love. So notice that. That's all. Okay? Just notice that. Yeah. And you're not the only one who's going through that too. Okay. Let's see here. Kitty says, ask me a question. It could be anything. Let's see. My question to you, Kitty, will be, why do you keep this is a little bit more of a serious question, but Kitty, my question to you, Kitty, is why do you keep staying in your same story? Like, we've had so many of these conversations, and hold on, no, that's not the question I want to ask. My question to you, Kitty, is what are you going to do to improve your life? Like, what action are you going to take to improve your life? Because we've had so many of these conversations. You're on here every single day. I love you. You're awesome. But like, really, all this talk, all this conversation, all these answering questions is rather useless unless you take action. So I want to ask you the question: what action are you going to take to improve your life, and by when? Okay, so that's my question to you. I know that's not the question you want to hear, but it's the one I'm going to give to you because it's the one that it's the one that you need right now, or you get. Okay, Susie H says, one choice I can make that can improve my life. It's hard to answer, but I think writing my thoughts out more. So journaling. I like that. Powerful. Angel, good to see you on, brother. Happy says, I feel like the choice that would improve my life would be being myself a lot more. And when I'm feeling down, I could make edits to calm me down. Hold on, being myself a lot more. And when I'm feeling down, I could make edits to calm me down. Okay. I like that. Good. I'm kind of curious. My thought is just in general. My thought is what specific action can you take? So I'm gonna go with Happy. Happy and anyone else with your goal. What specific action can you take that would improve your life? So you said being yourself. Okay, so being yourself. Well, what does that look like? How do you be yourself more? Like, let's make it more tangible. Let's make it more real, where you can actually touch it and understand what that means. Okay. Kitty says, do you consider scars a big thing? When I freak out, my head hurts. I make dark plans if it is really bad. Do I consider scars a big thing? You know what? This is actually a really good question. For me personally, by the way, this does not mean that you should, but for me personally, I feel like scars is a big thing. It's it was a big part of our life. If I had scars, it would be a big part of my life. In the context that we're talking about the scars, and but at the same time, you don't want to hyper focus on it too. You don't want to make it the center of your whole identity are your scars. So that's what I have. Yeah, it's what I'll say. If you're making dark plans, okay, thank you for sharing. I'm so grateful for your vulnerability and your willingness to share about your thoughts and your feelings, Kitty. My question really is like, okay, what next? You know, you're telling me the problems you're having. What are you going to do to improve or fix them? You know, or yeah, just improve them, because that's really what it is. You know, it's one thing to vent and complain and talk about them, but venting, complaining, talking about it doesn't do anything until you take action. So, yeah, that's what I got. Anathox says, I have relationship anxiety. Like, there's always a thought in my mind that it will eventually end. Um, let's see here. So, my thought on this one, if you are, let's say, if you're in a relationship or something like that, if you are looking to date someone or if you're afraid that a relationship might end, I understand that. I think that's very natural. That's very normal for humans to feel that way, that something might end. Um, I would say my main thing is when it comes to relationships, for me, it's about not attaching myself to the relationship. It's about, how do I say this? It's about appreciating the time that I have um, with my partners and, or partner, whatever, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, hold on. I have thoughts. Partners having anxiety that something will end, like a relationship will end. For me, it's about appreciating the present moment. It's about like, let's say your relationship ends. It's not about it ending. It's about like focus on appreciating every single moment that you had with this person. You know, and don't be attached to the relationship. Like if it ends, be grateful that you had the relationship. And I think I think it hurts, and we have this anxiety that a relationship will end because we attach our self worth to the relationship, and I think that's where it gets a little bit dangerous. It's like we will feel sad and whatever it is, we'll feel lonely, all this kind of stuff when the relationship ends because we no longer have this other person. Um, I get it. I'm a human being, and I feel like if any relationship ends, it will be sad in general, you know? But at the same time, I do think there is a way to, like, not focus so much on that it ending, but rather focus on the experience in the moment while you're in the moment. Okay, goodness gracious. My mind is. I got more to talk about this. I feel like it's a completely different conversation, so I'm not gonna dive deeper into it for now. Yeah, I shall leave it at that for now. Okay. Happy says one little step goes a long way. Agree. Yeah, yeah. Good to see you on again, as always. Genevieve says you went to my school, Johnson. Good to see you on. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it a lot. Kitty says getting away from negative people is the action step that you want to take. I'm so sorry, Richard. Life is just hard. I feel like I am just wasting your time. No, you're not. You're good. Why am I only vulnerable to you? I don't know why, but when I saw your vids, I just see a person who is empathetic and accepting. Did you get caught up with Rick and Morty? But no, no Rick and Morty. All right, so Kitty, hey Kitty, seriously, look, I'm here for you. Like please don't feel like I'm, trying to isolate you and you're wasting my time. Um, and I get it. It's kind of interesting. It's a little bit of a dance. It's like I'm going to be real with you, because my goal, my purpose here is, um, my purpose here is to support you, and if there's anyone, it's like you get to change your life, and um, when the time is right, when you are ready, you will change your life. You will change your life, not anyone else but you, because you're the only one who could make a difference in your own life. Um, everyone else could only just give you thoughts and ideas. Okay, so yeah, Kitty, I get it, and sometimes in a way, it's like sometimes I could be a little bit hard on you too. I understand you're going through a tough time. I am empathetic. There are times where You could say that, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if this is true, but like you could say there's a little part of me that you could say like loses that patience a little bit. But I don't want you to think that. It's really, that's not the focus on it. Like I don't, I'm not losing my patience. I just want to make that clear. Um, for me, it's like, I guess in a way I got to be patient with you too. I got to respect the space that you're in, and I get it. It's a process. I've been where you've been. Not perfectly, but in many ways I could empathize and relate with where you've been. So I understand it takes time, and sometimes that's all we need. We just need people to be there for us while we go through our process. And you are going through your process, and yeah, so that's just a real realization in this moment for myself. Yeah, so please don't be afraid to reach out. I'm here for you, and yeah, okay. So I get it. I'm thinking about my brother right now. So again, a lot of my life I struggled a lot with the insecurities and not believing in myself and feeling like I was whatever, just I, I was a screw up in life in a way. And my brother was always there trying to support me along the way. And my brother's approach was very aggressive. He was very like Richard, like you got to get your life together, all this stuff. And then um, he used to always be that kind of like kind of the demanding mentor, like the you have to do this, you have to do this. If you want to improve your life, this is what you have to do. Just do it. And for me, like I'm just like I felt so overwhelmed. I was just like I don't know what to do. Like, thank you for telling me how to do this, but I don't know. I feel bad that I'm not doing it. What do I do? So I understand that part. And I remember years later, like when I was in my 20 something, like 20, 21, 22, 23, something like that. That's when my brother started to understand that like for trying to force someone to do something doesn't work. Everyone has their own timeline, everyone has their own process. So it takes time. So that's one thing that I just thought out loud. That makes sense to me. So yes, take your time and go at your own pace. I'm here to support you, and I guess I'll say sorry if I'm a little impatient sometimes. Yeah, but I'm always here. I'm going to do my best to be supportive. Okay, that goes to anyone who's on right now. Yeah. Alrighty, let's do this. Onodox says it's like making me afraid to start relationships. Yeah, there's a lot of conversations. Angel, let's see. We'll do another. We'll talk about relationships in the future. Um, like there's a lot to talk about this. My mind is just not in the right space to talk about relationships right now. It's like the summary I would say is like it's not about you, Angel. So just know like if you are afraid to start relationships, it's your mindset around relationships. Um, if you change your mindsets, if you probably change your mindset, really you won't be afraid of relationships. You won't be afraid of failure. You won't be afraid of the relationship ending. You won't feel insecure, but that comes with practice. So I just want to give you the highlight of the conversation, which is that relationships can improve. So that's what I have. Rich De La Fuente, I see you. I yes, I'm in bad shape. Gotcha. Well, one step forward. That's what I got. Hold on, let's see here. Okay, Happy says accepting accepting of who I really am and knowing I do matter. I could also find something I could really like and use that to help me kind of like a hobby. Got it. I see. So your action could be taking like getting involved with some sort of hobby that you like that might make you feel more focused, motivated in that sense. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see. Raphael says you were at my school. Yeah. Johnson Middle School is where it's at. Y'all are awesome. Susie H says, have a good night, everyone. I hope you all have a great week. Thank you, Susie. You too. Kitty says, support. That is what I need. Hey, if I am bothering you, I will leave. It's okay. No one is perfect. You might be impatient and I'm stubborn. We just have to accept it. No. Again, Kitty, like, I'm being very real when I say this. Like, honestly, you're like the backbone to this to this live stream in a way. Like you create the conversation going when the conversation is sometimes dies. So it's most definitely great to have you here, and yeah. So thank you. Okay, at this point, I get to get back to work because there's a lot of things that get to be done. But I will be on here tomorrow, and yeah, keep going. Let me know what other topics you want to focus on. Yeah, my mind's not focused today. I get to in the future. What I can do better to improve these live streams for me is to prep myself is like whatever, just meditate or whatever. Give more, clear my mind because right before this live stream, my mind was just focused on like a lot of work stuff. So yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay, let's see. Kitty says, "Do I need support?" What do you mean by that? Do I need support? I'm not clear on what you mean by that. We could all use a little bit of support. Rafael Rubio, let's see. He says, "I love this channel. You're an inspiration." Thank you very much, Rafael. Appreciate that. It's an honor to have you on right now. Not everyone stays on and stuff like that. So I appreciate people tuning in. Happy says, have a great night, Richard. I'm glad I got to make it to this live. Thank you. I'm super happy that you're here too. 2 lives in a row was pretty awesome. So, yep, I'm going to try to be on tomorrow, 8 p.m. I should be on tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Everyone have a good night. Take care and keep on moving forward, even if life is challenging. Okay. Good night, everyone. We'll have hopefully more fun, more relaxing live streams at the same time. We'll have serious topics, but we'll also have fun, get to know each other topics, and you can expect some pretty cool live streams coming up soon. Okay? All right, everyone. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.